Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. Right now, we're seeing some pretty big Xbox kind of drama. Now, I feel like I've been a little bit on the negative Xbox side, so my apologies in advance, but right now the Xbox Series X is getting a lot of really big internet, flake. Now, when it comes to basically brand new games and this next-gen slash current-gen game of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox, people have very, very high set expectations, and rightfully so. We're basically getting brand new consoles years ago at this point, so it's kind of intriguing this is even still an argument at this point as well, but basically people want to have the brand new and the fresh, and basically pushing their consoles to the absolute limit. And right now, one of the bigger games that almost all eyes are on, at least in the big gaming sphere, is going to be Sona Saga Hellblade 2. Now, this game's been kind of promoted out pretty heavily, and it's kind of switched from an indie game to more of a mainstay Xbox game, but graphically, the game looks phenomenal. And as well, a lot of people really enjoyed the first one, although I will be fully honest, maybe a hot take, I wasn't the biggest fan, mainly because I wasn't a big fan of the ASMR whispering in your ear type vibe. I don't know, kind of just gave me the heebie-jeebies, but when it comes to the game itself, a lot of people are anticipating it, and this is meant to be one of Xbox's bigger games and bigger titles throughout this year. And now there's a few other ones too as well that we've kind of seen sprinkled on in, maybe Fable, maybe some other games, but we don't know exact release dates as of yet. But we do know that this year we will be having Sona's Hellblade. And this is kind of a big deal because right now people are very, very upset. So first and foremost, this game right now is hopefully be looking great. Because if you guys don't know, they're actually building it in Unreal Engine 5, which is basically what probably the best game engine, best looking game engine, and obviously has billions upon billions of dollars poured into it to make sure games as the best are basically done as the best they can. But Hellblade 2 is actually going to be utilizing this, but one big issue with it, and this is where everyone's complaining, everyone's talking about, we're talking about ourselves in this video, throughout this video, is that people are not happy on the fact that this will most likely be locked to 30 FPS, especially on the Xbox console. Now, it may go be bumped up on PC, and that's kind of the big idea of why Xbox wants to keep pushing Xbox Game Pass into just Game Pass in general, Microsoft Game Pass, play it on PC, play it on Xbox, play on your phone, whatever it might be. But people are a little bit on the upset side because, once again, you get an Xbox, and it's still going to be a good-looking game. And obviously, even we've been hearing rumors that GTA 6 may not even be a 60 FPS game. So it is somewhat normalized for those really big and mainstay games, but people are still sad about this, saying this console's generation has been pretty short of next-gen moments. And I would honestly, God, probably agree. I'm a PC guy myself at heart, though, but still, this makes me sad. Those dazzling techie epiphanies when you see a game do things that were inconceivable on earlier hardware. You should make a case for Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart's lightning fast loading or Starfield's potato physics, but there have been relatively few instances where you can see this stuff in real time. And I do want to say, when I did play Ratchet & Clank, that was my very first ever next-gen experience. Same with Hitman. More so just the amount of people and amount of AI that's been going throughout maps and stuff. That was always what was the coolest thing for me. It made it feel like the world was more involved and bigger. So there's a few reasons for this one, though. One is that the console supply issues and pandemic-driven development always led to these big delays, as I'm sure you guys probably know if you guys are active on our videos. Until last year, though, most games were still being released on PS4 and Xbox One 2 as well, and on top of that, maybe just lower specs on PC, Switch for some instances, etc. But another one is also Unreal Engine 5. The latest iteration of Epic Games' ubiquitous graphics engine lagged also a little bit behind the new console generation, so basically, as you guys know, the technology for Unreal Engine 5 would maybe be released right when the PS5 and Xbox came out. So then you also only kind of start around that time to make games. You've only had 3 years or so to make games. You probably had a little bit earlier for PlayStation or Xbox, but you guys kind of get the vibe. If it's not out yet, you can start making it, and then once you start making it, it takes time to make things too as well. So basically, this is where a lot of folks are kind of intrigued on this one, too. So they had experience. They went to the UK. They went to Ninja Theory Studio. They checked out Hellblade, Sona 2. And, of course, they had a chance to go check out the game itself. But a lot of folks are very, very concerned because the game overall may not be the, best in terms of frames. Now, frames is a very peculiar issue because I feel like that's going to be the next, big drama topic of if you don't have enough frames, then the game's not be running as smoothly, which I can kind of get at the end of the day. But at the same time, right now, Sona Hellblade is supposed to be one of the bigger games out there. It's been required since 2018. They've had around 100 people making on the game. 80 are working on Hellblade 2. And the game is a somewhat modester vibe. But at the same time, people, like I said, are somewhat, kind of concerned about it. So it's a pretty kind of big log, article kind of discussing a lot of various things when it comes to the game itself. It's very nice. They're saying the game has huge, like, good soundproofing. The graphics are great. They're having fully mocapped fighting. Like, there's a lot of really cool things in the game, and the game itself is looking phenomenal. So it's kind of why the frame is going to be so low in the first place, because there's just a lot of things, a lot of particle effects, a lot of things being rendered in the game itself, and, like, it does look very, very good. So that's kind of where I get, like, my opinion. I give a little bit of free pass to games being a lower frame rate if the game looks phenomenal. And if it's looking good, then it's looking very, very good. Like, I'm down with this. Either way, though, a lot of folks are kind of curious, though, because they only play on the Xbox Series X. They think it looks stunning, but people are upset because you can't always go and have the game have those higher frames. So either way, you kind of go through the tweet, you go through the post, and you kind of see all these comments being like, hey, the game's cool, I'm looking forward to the game, I want to play the game, it's looking nice, looking really good for Xbox. But once again, that big asterisk. But it will only run at 30 FPS on the Xbox Series X and S. Now, once again, if you can go and have it on the S at 30, X at 60, bro, I'm cool with that. Like, I don't mind that. That's okay. Like, you're getting the budget product. You can still play the game. Still going to look nice. Sure, Xbox Series X, you pay a little bit of a premium. The game looks better. Like, I'm cool with that. Like, I think that's 100% okay. But it is a little bit on the rough side because, once again, why would I want to play this on Xbox when you play it on PC? I mean, that's kind of a dumb, like, duh. Like, you could have, like, a $3,000 PC, $500 Xbox console, $200 Xbox console with the S. Like, yeah, I could get that. But people are kind of calling this out. They're saying, like, hey, true next gen, 30 FPS, choose one. It should have a performance mode, which I would agree on this one, too, as well, at a lower resolution. But why do people expect $450 hardware from 2020 to run 4K 60? And that's why I'm kind of saying, too, as well, for my PC, it can run that, and I kind of give it I understanding why, but people were also saying, kind of what Tom Warren responded with, is that people aren't maybe necessarily expecting 4K 60. I'd expect maybe like a 1080 60, that'd be perfectly fine with me. 4K 30, fine, that's standardized, I'm cool with that. But they're saying they wish there was a more consistent output of performance modes for first-party Xbox games. They say it's a dev choice, they get it, but it's kind of the same idea where PlayStation has a very consistent output. Like, they always have all these various options. They want to have performance modes. They want to have, like, this, like, nice visual mode, resolution modes. Like, they want to make sure it's a good-looking game. But as well, it could also run good, too, and give you the options. And I'm a little bit upset that Xbox doesn't do that, because they're also building stuff mainly for PC. And a PC could have all these different types of resolution modes and options and frames. You could, without a doubt, add that to Xbox consoles. Now, the Series S is on the lower state. I understand that. Xbox Series X compared to a PC is not as good as well. Completely understand that. But people are upset about it. They're saying, like, good thing is on PC then, which is still good. Like, that's an overall, I think, good comment. But that's not pro Xbox. I mean, it's Xbox Game Pass Pro, sure. But everything else, no. They're saying, yeah, hey, like, this has, like, been out for 3 years now. It's current gen. What's going on with this? But at the same exact time, you need to have the frames. And they're also giving, some people are calling out, like, PS5 on Horizon, saying it's one of the best looking next gen games for Horizon Forbidden West in an open world. Every character looks like a main character running around at 60 FPS. And they're saying this is going to be probably the best game for Xbox. All you kind of go get. But they're also saying it's going to come to PC and PS5 anyway. So I'm just playing on PS5, which is like the usual console fight back and forth either way. But people are, like, saying, like, hey, like, people are saying this is, like, some people are saying it's understandable on how stunning it looks, which I would agree. Like, I support this. But also some people are, like, absolutely disgusting. Phil lied to all Xbox gamers about 60 FPS being the norm, and then had proceeded to provide literally none. I pity anyone still on the platform. Comment Xbox L. It better be announced that with the Xbox Series X back in the Game Awards is the only game that I'm waiting for. Xbox is the only game that excites me. So this is the only game this guy is hyped up for. And he's not even get 60 FPS. Saying 30 FPS is a non-issue, though, once again. Stop making it sound like it is, Tom. I think it is an issue, but to the point where I can still enjoy a game with 30 FPS. But in terms of, like, if every PlayStation 5 game has the options. I think options is the biggest caveat. And the fact that we don't have options on Xbox, you'll probably have options on PC. And if you probably don't have options on Xbox, what's the point? You know what I mean? What's the point? I don't know. Like, some of this guys should basically try to go be like, hey, I approve of this type of stuff. I'm okay with this cap. I don't mind it. But I'm on the opposite, where, like, I like the options. If you're a $1 trillion company, give me the options. Why not? Like, it's not that hard to go do. And if you can't do it both on Xbox Series X and S, at least give it to me on the X. Like, I'm okay with that too as well. Some people are saying, so glad I invested in my PC last September. I have not looked back since. It's crazy. And like some people are saying like it doesn't matter. Some people say don't notice this. I actually may get this for my gaming laptop. Some people are like I might be confused too as well. 30 FPS is perfectly fine with these types of games. And like it's kind of a somewhat contradictory opinion, which is why I want to hear your thoughts down below. At the end of the day, I think I would prefer the options. I do like when games are more optimized. If it is really taxing and looks phenomenal in 30 FPS, I'm okay with it. And I'll probably be playing this game up on PC. Here's one of my final thoughts. So give me your thoughts and comments on everything down below. We have the Twitter and Twitch as well if you guys want to follow down below. And I appreciate you guys all very much watching in the first place.